Just 1 second here and we'll get going. Okay, does everyone have the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So thank you all again for taking time out of your busy schedules. I know these monthly meetings can get a little redundant. So tonight, I'm hoping to lighten this one up just a little bit for everyone at the end. We're really not going to do district updates. We're going to have a little bit of fun because it's the holiday season. So I've visited with a few of you about it, but if your family celebrated Thanksgiving this last week, I hope you all had a relaxing holiday with your friends and family and got to recharge just a little bit. To anyone on the call that I have not had a chance to meet, of course, I'm Eric Strimple. I'm your area GAT leader, and I take care of Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, and Kansas. And as a reminder, during the presentation, you will be muted. If you have any questions, please use the chat box. And also, like previous calls, my husband, Lion Eric Tweedy, is on the call. If you have any technical difficulties, please private message him and he will be watching that chat box for us this evening. So let's dive right into some area highlights. Membership in Area 1J has been on the move in a good way. Just since our last meeting on October 26th, we've seen our numbers go from -76 in the area to -25 as of this afternoon. Everyone, please keep up the good work because we are moving into drop season. The next month will be challenging for a lot of us. So please reach out to your zone chairs, your region chairs, and make sure that they are in contact with their clubs to help in any way to try to minimize the number of members dropped by December 31st. There are a couple things that I would love to point out and celebrate in our area. District 26M3 has rechartered a closed club in Troy, Missouri, having their new charter night back on November 18th and adding 18 new Lions. So congratulations to DG Sandy, who is on the call this evening, and her team for a successful relaunch of the Troy Lions Club. Also, all of my district governors and people from Kansas on the call, a huge pat on the back for you. All of my districts in the state of Kansas are currently sitting in positive membership in all districts across the multiple districts. So congratulations on the hard work on keeping the numbers positive and growing the state of Kansas. Finally, I just wanted to point out some service impact for Area 1J has had on individuals in the 4 states. These numbers are from about a week and a half ago, so the numbers, of course, have changed, but we've seen 3,005 activities reported across the 4 states, serving over 500,000 people and logging over 68,000 hours of service time. All of this has been done in just 4 months. Like we discussed on the call last month, we know that there are some clubs that are not reporting. So our service impact numbers are definitely higher than this, but these are the official numbers as of a couple weeks ago. Now, of course, with the good, we must take just a couple moments and talk about some membership trends across Area 1J that we can improve on. Like most in constitutional Area 1, Area 1J is seeing a downward trend in membership, looking at numbers from October of 2021 to October of 2022. We had membership at 21,262 in 21. And at the end of October of this year, we were at 20,514. That number has went up since the end of October. So that is a good sign. Another big area that we hear a push on each year from LCI, our states, and our districts is women in Lions. While we've seen a decrease in this area in 1J, it's a very small decrease, and we can gain those women back. So in 21, we had 6241, and in October of 22, we ended it with 6192. Now, there is one thing that we can celebrate through this last October. We had 116 clubs that were below 10 members last year. And in October of 22, we're down to 109. I know that's a very small decrease of clubs, but that is moving in the right direction. Now, I do understand that in our rural areas, a club that's under 10 members may not necessarily be in jeopardy of closing, but they are still signs of stress under certain circumstances. So they are clubs that we need to make sure that we continue to watch through the rest of the year. So how can we reverse these membership trends across the area? We have to work with our region chairs, the clubs, and members to close the back door and retain the members that we currently have through revitalizing and reinvigorating the clubs and members through service, part of the GMA process. Since we need to focus on clubs, LCI has created a PowerPoint presentation to help clubs work through the GMA process at the club level. This PowerPoint presentation asks club members one very significant question. If we continue as we are, where will our club be in 5 years? This is a question that every club in our association needs to ask itself to make sure that the local club is staying relevant and strong in the community that it serves. Just like the regular GMA process, we are asking clubs to build a team, build a vision, build a plan, and build success. When the clubs work through the process and they go to build their team, this is a great opportunity for the clubs to ask community partners to join in the discussion. Getting that outside feedback can change the trajectory of a club for years to come. When clubs work through the SWOT analysis, the 4 areas of focus are going to be members, which is going to be the rejuvenating and recruitment of new members, service, leadership, and club operations, and sharing success with fellow members and the community at large. I will be emailing everyone the full slide deck this weekend and ask you to share it with your region and zone chairs and encourage them to utilize this training at a zone meeting or at a club visit to get the GMA process started at the club level. On your screen, you will notice that there is also an upcoming webinar on bringing the GMA to the club level. This webinar is scheduled for next Wednesday, December the 7th, from 7 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. There is a QR code on the screen. If you have a cell phone handy and you want to take a picture of that QR code to register, but you will also be getting an email from me tomorrow with the information for registration of this if you so choose to join the call. So another initiative that I'm working on to roll out over the next couple months is the creation of a PIP and PID team for Area 1J. This initiative is a goal of our current international president, Brian Sheehan, to engage our past international presidents and past international directors in all of our areas, in all of our areas across Constitutional Area 1 and in 1J, to assist the GAT team on weaknesses or areas that need work in our area. I did have my first meeting with our PIPs and PIDs on the 28th, so just a couple days ago. Part of the call was to review the 5-year trends with the team and to work through a SWOT analysis of Area 1J. Over the next month, myself and the team will work on building a plan to assist districts in areas of concern from the SWOT analysis that was completed. So what does this mean for you as a district governor or as a GAT team member in your district or multiple district? After we complete the plan, you may hear from one of the area PIPs or PIDs to aid you and your team on an area of concern in your district. Now, I need you all to understand that if you get a call from a past international president or a past international director, that does not mean that you are not doing a good job as a district leader. That means that after reviewing the 5-year trends for the district as a whole, looking at how we feel the trend is going to continue, that it is time to act and engage the members in that district and in those clubs that are struggling so that we don't lose more members and more clubs in Area 1J. Finally, I ask you, if assistance is offered to you, please accept it. Our goal is to work as a team to make the area as stable as possible for years to come. So I felt this quote was appropriate for tonight. We are all servant leaders on this call. The best type of leadership, in the words of Brian Tracy, is becoming the kind of leader that people would follow voluntarily, even if you have no title or position. This quote is going to be very important when we take the GMA process to the club level. We need to make sure that the club members understand just because they do not have a title does not mean that they cannot step up, have a voice, and lead the change in their club. In fact, sometimes it's better and we have better success when someone without a title steps up to the plate to offer a solution to change. So what I want to do here, we're going to stop the PowerPoint presentation for just a couple moments. What I would like tonight, we're just going to go around, and like I said, we're going to kind of keep this a little lighthearted tonight. Instead of doing updates, unless you have a very specific concern that you have in your district that you want to address with your fellow area leaders to get feedback, please bring those up. I'm not going to try to stifle that. That's what we're here for. But with the holidays being around, in the email that I sent out last week, I did ask if you have a club or clubs in your district or multiple district that are known for a holiday project or a project that they do in the second quarter of the year that is great with publicity and community engagement. I would love to hear everyone share those. If you don't have one of those, share a holiday memory that is fond to you growing up. So since we've got a small group here, I'm just going to call on people and we'll go around and let you speak up. So Richard, you're Richard Webster. You are the first one on my screen, so I will let you go first.
Thank you, Eric. I do have a lot of people I'd like to thank. Not only is there are a number of things in our particular district that we're well known for, this time of year. I'd just like to thank you, and I'd like to thank all the members of my district team for all the work that they're doing, because that's really what makes the holiday so wonderful, is when we enter into this time where we can kind of rejoice a little bit and relax and celebrate the successes. We've had such a tremendous year already, and I'd like to just mention, we do have a couple of annual things that happen. The Robinson Melodrama is coming up this weekend, and they're very well known for putting on this little piece of theater, which people really enjoy. And of course, it is kind of a hallmark or a highlight of this particular season. And there are a number of Christmas dinners and Christmas parties, cantatas, sing-alongs, Christmas pageants that are going on in our district. There's really too many to mention. But just as I've said, my district team, has done such an excellent job. A tireless and effort has been made that I really want to congratulate everyone. One thing in our district, we have to recognize that we're following up a year of such tremendous success that, I hope that everyone appreciates and recognizes what we've accomplished, for instance, last year. And I'd like to congratulate Dr. Vanya Castro, our immediate past district governor, for the excellent work that she has done and the continued recognition that we're receiving because of all of those efforts. But Eric, it's been a great year so far. It's been my privilege to serve, and I would love to thank each and every one of my cabinet and mention their names and go to great length to congratulate them for the job they're doing and to wish them all a very happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Sandy, you are next on my screen. Sandy, you're muted.
One thing a lot of our clubs do is they put a rack of coats outside of like a restaurant or a building or a community center where people can pick up coats that are in need. It's growing within our district where more and more clubs are doing that, and the community really recognizes that, and the publicity we've gotten from that project has been phenomenal.
That is a project that I have not heard before, and that is an amazing one because people are always in need of warm coats this time of the year. Thank you. Mike from Iowa.
Yes, sir. Nothing specific to share other than, the typical fundraiser activities that clubs are doing all the time anyway. So that's pretty much it for North Iowa.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bill Johnson.
Unmute. Okay, first of all, I want to congratulate one of our members on tonight, and Betsy Barnes from District 7N. She is the second Vice District Governor-elect for District 7N, and will, despite I've tried to talk her out of it, she thinks she wants to be a district governor. I don't know what the deal is there, but anyway, so congratulations to Betsy. A couple of things that are going on in our district, particularly around the holidays, is our Maumelle Lions Club, which is a suburb of Little Rock, has a pancake breakfast with Santa, and you can get the breakfast itself is really cheap and reasonable, but they make a little money with the picture with Santa. So that's a lot of fun and real popular in the Maumelle community. And then Monday night, I don't know if you can see this, but Monday I visited the Carlisle Lions Club. And so after we had our meeting, they set up a nativity set outside the Cadence Bank there in Carlisle. It's on one of the main streets. And so this is a Lions Club project, setting up the Christmas nativity set outside the bank there. That was a total surprise to me. I didn't know that was happening, but I got to carry they gave me the donkey to take out. I don't know what that means, but anyway, it was fun. They had a good group. It was kind of their Christmas meeting. They kept spending money, and I said, I'm loving this, because they made all of their some of their charitable contributions they voted on last Monday night. So I was just really glad to be part of all of that.
Thank you. David Coates.
Good evening. How are you tonight?
Doing great. Thank you.
I have two things that were brought up at some club meetings that I had never heard of, some brilliant ideas. The first brilliant idea is it's blue or green lights. And what the club was talking about is selling blue and green lights throughout the community. And it just so happens that they were going to use blue lights in this. One, it represented the colors of the high school that was there. Another one is it's also a Lions color, and it also was going to represent diabetes awareness. And they were going to try to get the community to buy blue light bulbs from their Lions Club So, and then on certain days of the year, they would ask them to turn them or put them on the porch and turn them on and show the community is working together and aware of diabetes. Another thing which another club is doing, the Dysart Club, which is doing a fantastic job, is they first started out wanting to put American flags in their community. And what they would do is they would go out and they sold the flags, and 7 or 8 times a year, they would charge a fee for the flag, and they would charge a fee for posting it. And then they bought American flags and flagpoles and would put it in people's yards. And they had the little post that all they had to do is slide them in the post into a post hole that they had planted. And they would do that 7 or 8 times a year, Veterans Day, 4th of July. And it started out, they were hoping to sell 80, and I think they're up to like almost 150 now, flags in their small community. And I thought that was brilliant, a brilliant idea. And I commend them for their work and what they're doing. Those are my 2 ideas.
Thank you for sharing, David. Russell.
All right, hello. Sticking with the holiday thing, the thing I've seen with a couple of our clubs is gift baskets and wrapping up presents, gathering the items, going out, finding the youth in their communities that could use those items. And they'll work with the schools and churches, and they'll get a list of the kids, and in some cases maybe parents and stuff, and then they'll buy specifically for those, wrap them up, and then deliver them. So that's kind of the idea they had.
Thank you. Jeff Davis.
Well, recently, one of the things that I was impressed with, she happened to be a Lion, a former or past council chair, but she was, after surgery last year, was housebound. Her second floor outside deck just collapsed. And being in a community where they had a real strict property owners association, within 24 hours, I probably exaggerate, but they were quick to get on her case to get it removed. And we had 8 Lions from 4 clubs participated in that. I think it's just really great when clubs can come together like that. And the other thing that being the newsletter editor for both state and district, I get to see a lot of things that the clubs are doing. And one of the things that, and my club does it too, that, we work hard all year, and this is kind of a fun time of the year because we get to do a lot of branding. We show up at Halloween events, handing out candy. Probably half of the clubs will be in Christmas parades. And not only is it a form of branding, but it's just a fun time after all the hard work that we've done. My club's getting together to build a float tomorrow, and we'll have a good time doing it. So it's nice to just wrap up with the year in a fun way.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun time of the year with the projects. There's some levity to them, even though there's some seriousness to the projects that happen this time of the year. So I would totally agree there. Thank you. Terry.
I'll speak only to what my club is doing. Is we had one of the homeless shelters come to us, and to all the service organizations for that matter, and they're in bad need of beds, because as years go by and various things take place, bedding and all that disappear. So if we would donate $1,000 to them, that would buy 5 beds along with the bedding that goes on them. So I'm quite proud of our club. I'm very happy. I know I personally, although I did do it for another service project or service club, and what we did was for people who have come to the community and do not have the wherewithal and have apartments or homes, they do not have beds for the children and things like that. And there's an organization here in Cedar Rapids that puts together beds, and they ask for volunteers to come and help them. So if you've never built, it's all cut out. All you have to do is just simply put it together. Unfortunately, most of those people live on the top story of a 3 or 4 story apartment, and you get to carry it up the steps. And for old people like me, that gets to be quite a chore somewhat out there. And I'll let District Governor Nadine talk about the project that our own home club is doing, which I'm going down to December 14, I believe it is. So
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you. Caroline.
There we go. Thank you, Eric and friends. 2 things. One, I had a visit with my zone chair and our GMA to the Valley Falls Club here in Kansas. And the town had a hometown Christmas, and they had lit the town with lights and had the children from the 4-H. They had a picture from the paper, and every kid had lights in their hands and helping put those lights up. It was marvelous. I didn't see them do it, but the after effect was really great. I just got really nostalgic. And on women's things, we are having on Saturday, I will advertise this to all the ladies and any clubs that might want to send somebody up from other places in Kansas. We're having a second hybrid Women in Lions workshop at Fort Leavenworth. If you're coming in person, I need to know so I can give a count for the for Fort Leavenworth Frontier Conference Center. But the ladies that will be sending videos or speaking are VP Patty Hill, PIP Gudrun Ingevadottir, PID Elizabeth Harderer, ID Diane Pitts, and our very own Nancy Bowder, who is the former mayor of Leavenworth, and Leo Bella Whitlock. And I'll put the Zoom meeting ID and passcode up in the chat for people to participate. This is, I think, an incredible group of meeting, and we've got a good lunch planned. So
Thank you for sharing.
yes.
And Betsy, would you like to add anything?
Governor Bill Johnson may have the better number of the count, but our club, we Little Rock Founders, recently submitted. Bill, will you help me on how many glasses we were able to collect and send? Bill, you on?
Yes, it was over 3,000.
That's what I was thinking. 3,000 glasses that we collected and cleaned, and were able to move forward. Play forward.
I think that a lot of those went to Ukraine.
So we
Definitely an area that is in need.
do that. So we had a marvelous district convention several weeks ago, and we're looking forward to the new year and new projects and new things.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Bruce, are you on?
I am on. Well, hello, everybody. What we're doing for Christmas is, well, I've been working extensively with Leo's here in the last month. We are in the midst of our coat drive. We've collected about 650 coats at this point. We expect to get another 200 in. And we will set up a retail outlet in our community center and invite families in that we know that are in need, to let them shop throughout the outlet that we set up for outdoor clothes, coats and boots and shoes and and reconnect with them a little bit to make sure they're okay for the holidays. So it's all moving real quick. It's almost here.
It is. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Judy?
I'll apologize for my slow connection. Hope you can hear me.
There we go.
I will attend with a club and they're going to take, okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
They're going to, they're going to take 2 votes at this meeting. One is going to be to merge the 2 clubs, and we're going to save 100% of the members in both clubs. The second vote they're going to take is to be the sponsor of the new club that we're putting in about 10 miles south of them. Real proud of them.
That is good to hear that you are retaining 100% of the 2 clubs, even though you're merging the 2 clubs. So, and sponsorship of the new club.
Yeah.
So congratulations to all of you. District Governor Nadine.
Thank you.
Good evening and thank you. We have several things going on in our district. At our last district cabinet meeting, I asked that we put together a couple of committees that will research people who are eligible to take on district offices, and another to help select those people and also create a succession plan so that we don't find ourselves struggling and trying to find leaders farther down the road. And I think so far we've been relatively successful. The head of one of the committees is Rick Bauman, who is our first vice district governor, and he's quite a salesman. So he's ours. You can't have him. The things that have been going on in the district, I know our Wyoming club, which is pretty small, annually does lighting of the city through the main thoroughfare in their town. It isn't very big, but that's what people look forward to every year. And it, perfectly honest, that's why some of the guys are joining the club so they can take part in the lighting of Wyoming. Past Council Chair Terry alluded to the activity that my own club, the Fruitland Community Lions, does every year. We have a senior luncheon. There is absolutely no charge for the people attending, and it's gotten so popular that this year we've had to limit the number of reservations to 50, just because of the size of the venue and the cost of the meal. We provide a gift basket or gift bags that have calendars and pens and ham or turkey certificates from one of our local corporations, Bayer, and a bank contributes little goodies, and then we go and buy candy or other items. We also sponsor 3 families from our local high school that the school identifies as far as the need being there, and all of the kids and the families have been spoken for, so we're pretty glad we are able to do that for them.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. James, are you on?
Yes, I am. So I guess the only thing that, like, other than what Nadine had said and Terry, we got a club up in Wyoming, Iowa, that does actually, during the Christmas time, they actually decorate the streets and that, and the community goes out and helps them in that, and hopefully you know, they can gain a few members. So that, you know, that's something that's going on. It's gone on for a lot of years, but they do a good job up there. So
Thank you very much. Rick and Ann?
All right. Yeah, I know we've got a couple things going on here in Eldridge, our home club here, and one of them actually comes up this Friday night. We have a hometown holidays, and our Lions Club over the years has been asked by the chamber originally to roast marshmallows for it. We did that one year, and then we decided to improve it, so we now do s'mores. So in a 2-hour period from 5:30 to 7:30, we serve 500 s'mores to the children and adults in the community. We break out 4 fire pits, and it's kind of anymore like a well-oiled machine. So we make sure that we get that done. And our club also is helps with the food pantry. We make a donation, but when they put the Thanksgiving and Christmas baskets together during COVID, they only could have, you know, a certain amount of people there to do it. And our club helped with that. And since doing that, it kind of has fallen on us. The food pantry staff was impressed with the number of people we could get to show up and how quickly they worked at doing it. So that are a couple things. And we deliver meals to the senior set-ins as well a couple times a week. And of course, during the holidays, we make sure we get that done, and they get a little extra as well. So that's just a few things we have going on here.
Thank you. I am going to take just a second and talk about my local club. So our local club here in Eudora, this is kind of our signature project here in Eudora. The Mayor's Christmas Tree handed over the project to the Eudora Lions Club back in the early 2000s. And since then, we have managed the Angel Tree Project, is what it is now called. We average between 25 and 45 families a year with 60 to 120 kids. Those angels go out to the community, just kind of like Nadine said in one of the smaller towns where they took 3 families from the school district. But the angels go out into the community, and we ask the community to help us with the angels. And it has gotten to the point now, the community partnerships that we have with other organizations, school clubs, school groups, you know, National Honor Society, the band, etc. They are reaching out to us before angels are even out on the streets and wanting full families to help us. So it's a good problem. We went from averaging 5 angel trees around the community to 2, because we have so many community partners reach out to us before the angels go out now, taking full families to help them. And then the Lions Club does provide a full holiday meal to them as well. Another thing that is on our radar, it was Terry that was talking about homeless. Another thing that we're seeing a lot of here in Douglas County, Kansas, is an issue with homelessness and everyone around the United States is, of course. But one thing that we are going to be talking about at our local club is donating Mylar blankets to the we have a local restaurant that actually provides meals free of charge to homeless individuals while they're open during the day. And we're going to, if we do choose to do the Mylar blankets, we're going to work directly with them to provide them. The Mylar blankets are not insulated, of course, but it's going to help radiate some of their body heat back to them, help keep them dry if they are out on the ground. They're fairly cheap. They are easy for them to transport. So that is a new project that we are looking at potentially starting. And if we do, we will make sure to brand them, of course, and get stickers on there so that everyone knows that it's the local Lions Club that is doing it. So I do see that Lion Caroline did put the Women's in Lions that has happened in 17A in the chat. So any females, or if you want to share the information with any females in your districts, because it is for women only, that information is there. And with that, let me jump back over here for just one quick second. So with that, we're wrapping up tonight. So little funny story on the picture. I figured we had to end it with a little bit of a laugh here. I am on our fun committee at my work, and they were joking about doing ELF for our holiday party and wanted something to advertise the holiday party. So I took it upon myself to Photoshop myself on as Elf and figured we should just end it with a little lighthearted laugh of me and my information. So with that, if in closing, if over the coming weeks, make sure that you spend time with your friends and your family. Please be safe. Make sure that you take time to recharge your batteries, because as we move into 2023 and the second half of our Lion year, we have more goals to achieve, and we will see Area 1J grow. And I did not put it on here, but just so everyone has it, and it'll be in the newsletter that goes out tomorrow. Our next call is going to be Wednesday, December 28th. I know it's a holiday week, so I fully respect it, but I'm just going to keep it on the calendar. And if it's a light turnout, we'll just we'll visit about a few things and we'll move about our evening, but I want to keep our monthly schedule going. So Wednesday, December the 28th at 7 p.m. will be our next monthly GAT call. And with that, if there are no questions in the chat, I appreciate everyone taking time this evening and visiting with us. And I appreciate everything that you are doing in 1J and making a difference around your communities and districts. Thank you very much.